Lars Enarson here with an update from the war against Iran. This is Tuesday, March 24. The missiles continue to be fired against Israel from Iran and also from Hezbollah in Lebanon. However, today I would say there has been a little bit less than the previous days, which have been very difficult for Israel. Israel estimated that when the war began, Iran possessed about 470 ramps for the missiles to fire the missiles from in Iran. And up till today, Israel has neutralized at least 330 of these firing ramps. And this is a tremendous achievement. And I want to, in this update, encourage all of you to concentrate in your prayers that Israel will be able to wipe out all of these firing ranges in Iran so that no more missiles can be sent away to Israel. That is the best defense that Israel has against these missiles. So this is what we need to continue to pray for. President Trump has now started negotiations with the representatives from the regime in Iran, and there are supposed to be negotiations taking place in Pakistan, in Islamabad this weekend. I want to say that this is the greatest fear that Israel has, that Trump will stop this war before the regime has been defeated in Iran. If there is anyone from the present regime that President Trump will make a deal with, it is just a matter of time until they have started their production of missiles and started with their attempts to get nuclear weapons. This regime is a fanatical religious regime that is not interested in logic as we know it in the West. They are motivated by destroying Israel and destroying the West. So we must pray that this war will lead to a complete regime change in Iran. Now, Prime Minister Netanyahu has said that even if the United States will cease their operations against Iran, Israel will not do that until there is a fulfillment of all the goals that Israel has for this war. And one of them is that there will be a condition whereby the civilians, the population in Iran, can establish a new democratic government. So it is not certain that President Trump will allow Israel to do that if the United States finishes the war. But we must pray that Israel will stand firm and that they will insist on continuing the war until everything has been accomplished. So that is what we need to pray for. And I encourage you to specifically pray for God's intervention and miracles during Passover. This war started during Purim, and there is a connection between Purim and Passover in the war against Israel's enemies. So we should pray fervently that there will be a breakthrough. Israel is also fighting against the police forces in Iran and the military, the Revolutionary Guards and the Basij police forces that are oppressing the people and ready to kill anyone that goes out on the streets to demonstrate against the regime. So Israel is attacking all of the assets that they have in the Revolutionary Guard and also in the police. Until they can give the go-ahead to the people. Now you can go out in the millions on the streets to make sure that you can overthrow the government. And that is what we continually need to pray for. Now, the war is raging in Lebanon, and at this point, Israel is not able to fully engage in the war against Hezbollah because Iran is the priority. Once the regime in Iran has fallen, then it will be so much easier to defeat also Hezbollah in Lebanon. But at this point, Israel is talking about the necessity now to occupy southern Lebanon up till the Litani River, and this is an area that Israel will probably insist on to have as a buffer between Israel and Lebanon, similar to the situation in Syria, until Hezbollah is completely defeated. Meanwhile, Hamas is strengthening their positions in Gaza, and of course this is a huge problem, but Israel must take one thing at a time, and as I said, Iran is the priority right now. Let's pray for a breakthrough in this war during this Passover season, the season of redemption and miracles and God's intervention. So God bless you. Thank you for praying, and we believe in God's victory in this war. I also want to add that we need to pray for the pilots in the Air Force in Israel. Just in the first 2 weeks alone, the pilots did more flying time or time in the air than they normally do for an entire year. So you can imagine how exhausted they must be, and also the airplanes, they need service because they have been used to the maximum. So this is war. It is not easy. So let's pray for the Air Force that God will strengthen the pilots to do the necessary work that they need to do. God bless you. Shalom.